You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about a bankrupt person. Not a person that's bankrupt as in a filing bankruptcy or in financial reset. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about with you being bankrupt on the inside, morally, values, whatever the case may be, and you're really within my circle. Before I go further into this topic, you know that I've always stated that you can learn something from anybody. Some people are good at being bad examples. Or you can look at it as looking at, things of what not to do. But when I'm thinking about this bankrupt person, the whole reason why I've even put a label on it of saying bankrupt, it's not standing from a distance and trying to judge. That's not what this is about. The way that you get a label of bankrupt around me is through our constant interactions. You bring me down. Not because of what you're going through in life. That's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about we've come at a crossword. I mean crossword. We've come at a crossroads of why are you in my circle? What? No, better yet, a lot of the times with me, I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. Uh, Usually the type of people I'm talking about, they don't get past those initial barriers with me. Because with me, it takes a long time for me to get to know a person, let alone calling you into my circle. But what does occur, and what I have had occur often, is people that are in your inner circle. The more that you get to know them, and maybe they're growing, they're souring, or the relationship is becoming sour. And then through this sourness, you really begin to be able to tell that everything that they were based on, no wonder the reason why it's going sour and you all's interactions are declining, poor in health. Your interactions are poor in health, is because of everything this person bases it's based on. You're bankrupt. This whole time they're flying blind. Maybe the relationship started out on some laughs, or maybe this person really kept up a facade for a while, but you find out, or maybe they've changed. They've changed, and you all really have fallen out of alignment. And you're looking at this person as being bankrupt in the way that they do. And one of the ways that I determine that a person is bankrupt, I'm thinking about the way our paths cross, the way that you do me, your dealings, underhanded, dealing dirty, conniving, betraying. And the closer I look at these things, I'm just like, wow, this is not just me. You operate from a basis like this. How long have you been like this? Manipulative. And like I said, it's not up to me to decide on, when this went wrong, or to fault myself on, wow, this person has been in my presence or been in my circle all this time and I didn't realize it. No, because I'm not casting judgment like that upon people. Only thing I can judge is our relationship, how you and I interact. And I do have the right to make the decision on whether I want to continue dealing with the person or not. I want to further define it. When I'm thinking about bankrupt, I'm thinking about really this is coming from you're operating from nothing. You're just flying blind. You have no compass, no direction. You're caught in the moment, full of emotions, be good or bad. Maybe you and I have a relationship that's built, and I'm not talking about relationship. I'm talking about relationships from the standpoint of friendships, interactions, off in your circle. Because usually with family members, That's why I say usually with family members. You've been around them enough, and you really you know how they tick and they operate, and that's a whole nother subject. Trying to break out of the orbit of that relationship. But I'm just talking about things that you keep getting blindsided by, and you're just like, wow, seems like this person is operating without a code, no values. They're really selfish, all the way selfish in their dealings. It's just been I've not been and I'm purposely choosing this word. I've not been fortunate enough to be caught up in their whirlwind early on to be able to determine this up with the person. But I'm hip to it now. So what are we gonna do? Bankrupt people. Another reason behind the topic of this video, I'm thinking about if I deem you bankrupt in our dealings, what are you bringing to the table? I know what I'm bringing to the table. What are you bringing to the table? Because if you bankrupt, you just looking to take. That's all I really wanted to add to that video, to this video. Like I said, this is not a video about just out here arbitrarily picking and judging people on how you think that they may be. But you do have the right to evaluate the relationships that are in your circle. And I would like to think that when people are operating with me, they know they know on the basis of how I'm operating. You know that I'm not about borrowing no money. You know that I'm not about leaning on your. It's a whole lot that I ain't. I ain't as in depth, just as everybody else is. A lot of people have a lot of different layers. It may not seem like it. I look at everybody in 3D, no matter how two-dimensional some of their actions, and we like to judge on the surface or what we think that we may know about a person. Everybody is 3D. There's a lot of different layers. Now, sometimes those layers are repetitive. And that's what I'm talking about, like with this bankrupt. Maybe you have a whole lot of corrupt layers that point to one area, one thing that makes me come down and say, I mean, you're morally bankrupt on the way that you're underhanded dealings with people. Everything revolves up around you. It's just if it's not you, it doesn't come back to you in some sort of way. Then you're gonna step on it, roll over everybody that's up on you, and really, I kind of hate even saying that if it's not revolving up around you, because like I've said in the older video, really, in reality, everything revolves around us, because you're only walking in your shoes, so everything revolves around us in life. But what I'm talking about, when you're interacting with others, it can't just be all about you. What's the use in interacting with another person? It's some give and some take there. But not if you're dealing with a bankrupt person. Person is only out for self. They have no basis for where they operate and thinking about others. They have nothing to offer on that relationship up to you. They're bankrupt. They're using it all on themselves. Anyway, that's my take on it. Just thought I'd make a video on that. I've dealt with bankrupt people. It can be really exhausting, because it's like you can see them coming from a mile away, and you know that no matter how this interaction ends, it's going to be about you. And I'm going to be drained. I'm going to be empty. I mean, what other way can it be? Because you're bankrupt. You don't have anything to bring to the table. Now, you can change that. We can all change that. And if you're dealing with me, you may be changing it just from just from my interaction, because I'm not going to feed into it. And if other people are doing the same thing, you'll be at some point you would need to be forced, or you would through your own hand, you'd be forced to look at yourself, your dealings on why these relationships are going south. Anyway, that's my take on it. Stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. I'm Ayn. Y'all have a good one.